Hi, I'm Steve Mitchell, aka The Michelli from themichelli.com, and in this episode, I'm going to tell you the 10 things I discovered by doing 1 month of intermittent fasting. And it's not probably things you've heard before. So a while back, I was talking with one of my friends, David Grieger. He's on Instagram as Warrior Grieger, great guy, very thoughtful guy, very clever guy. And we were talking about how he had made such progress through using intermittent fasting. He was on what's called the Warrior Diet, and that meant that he only ate for 4 hours a day. He pushed his meals right back to the end of the day, and he was doing workouts like 20 hours fasted, and he was making incredible changes to his body. So I thought, well, I can do that. So he gave me the details of a program. It was the Warrior Shredding Program by a guy called Gregor Gallagher. You can find the details of that on kinobody.com, and I gave that a go. And I had some mixed success, but then I kind of didn't keep up with it as well as I hoped to, and I didn't make the gains that I needed to make, or any gains I made, or any losses I made, I kind of lost them quickly. So it wasn't really working for me. And but I kept trying stuff with many people who are trying to do dieting or lose some weight. They'll keep trying, looking for that holy grail. And basically I thought, well, after a year I was kind of forced into making some changes. So I thought, well, let me give it a go, but let me be really strict. So for 1 month I followed that same program. I didn't eat anything until 6 p.m. and between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. I would eat a balanced diet, but I would get all of my calories in that short time period, and I didn't eat anything other than I'd only have water or coffee. And so these are the 10 things that I discovered, not in any particular order. So number 1, no matter what anyone tells you, days 1 to 4 are going to be hell. They are going to be hell. And it is not as easy as people say. As long as you can get through the first 4 days, you'll be onto a winner. But day 1, even the moment that I decided I wasn't eating, I was hungry and I wanted food. It was some psychological thing. That got a bit easier for days 2 and 3, but day 4 I was craving food. So days 1 to 4 were really, really difficult. So number 2. A lot of the sensations that I've always thought meant that I was hungry and I would go get some food, I actually think now meant I'm thirsty. Because while I was fasting during the day, I didn't have the option to just go get some food. I'd feel hungry and I think, oh, the only thing I can have is water or coffee. So I'd go have a drink, and that feeling of hunger went away. And after a very short amount of time, I realised I was never hungry in the first place. I was thirsty. And for many years, for as long as I can remember, I've got those feelings mixed up. So I think my relationship with food just wasn't quite right. So now it's helped me increase my water intake dramatically, and I don't pick as much. Number 4, habitual eating and picking can be your undoing. So if I was around my wife, she was making breakfast for the kids, she's going to get a nice bowl of fresh fruit. It would be so easy for me to pick up some fruit, just throw it in my mouth without thinking. It was just habitual. It's just an instinctive reaction. I would just grab a bit of fruit and I would just eat it. And if I ever did that, from the moment that I had food had entered my body was going, right, you need more food, you're in that feeding window, so feed me. And because I would do it at breakfast time, I would struggle the whole day. In fact, it was almost like the feelings of day 4 all over again, and it would be really difficult. So habitual eating and snacking and picking, that's going to be something that you really have to get under control, and just, get those feelings under control at least. Because if you do accidentally take anything in, it's going to be much harder for you for the rest of the fast. Number 5, and this is probably the least pleasant of all of it, but you really get to learn your body's cycle of food in, food out, if you know what I mean. If I only start eating at between 6 and 10 p.m, the next time that I needed to go to the loo for a bowel movement, that kind of helped me understand how my body is processing food, how efficient it is. And that was information you don't really have if you're picking, or you don't have that kind of understanding of your body. So that was beneficial. Whether it was the most interesting thing, I don't know. So number 6 on my list is, as it gets easier, and from day 5 onwards it is pretty easy, it's great for a short amount of time, but the longer it goes on, I found myself getting lazy and falling back into some of my old habits, i.e. I wouldn't drink as much water. And that kind of, because you get used to that hungry feeling, it's not really hungry, you just know that you want some food, but you're never really that hungry. I could have done much better with that if I'd have been drinking, if I'd have been on top of my water game. So having an app to control, to remind you when you should be drinking water, or having a water bottle with you all the time is going to make a much better difference for that. But you can get lazy and you can lose that discipline in taking in enough water. Number 7, fasted cardio. There's lots of things on the interweb about whether you should be doing fasted cardio or how effective, or should you do it just before you break your fast. Well, I play five-a-side football on a Friday, and I do that about between 12 o'clock and 1 p.m. and I still wouldn't eat up and before I got home at 6 p.m. and during my fast I had the most energy, and I had the best ability to perform at what I thought was a much higher level than I'd been playing at for a long time. Now some of that will be down to losing a few pounds, but I know a lot of it's just the fact that with the human growth hormone that you release while you're doing this, I was just in a much better, more alert state for doing fasted cardio, so it's much better for me. So number 8, and this is the worst one for me, everyone will be against you. Everybody that I knew said, you shouldn't be doing it, it's not healthy, breakfast is the most important meal of the day, it can't be good for you, your body will go into starvation mode, all sorts of things, right? Now all of this information is coming from people who have never done it, they've never tried it. So I think if you were going to try this, don't tell anybody. You don't need to tell anybody. No one needs to be on this journey other than you. And the more people that you have on your back saying, don't do it, the harder it's going to be. So if I'm going to do this again, and more of that later, I wouldn't tell anybody. I would just do something stealth and let people see the difference. So number 9, my weight loss wasn't as dramatic as you might have thought, but it was consistent. I lost consistently over these 4 weeks 1 kilo a week, so 2.2 pounds. At different times throughout the week, that weight loss appeared more, but actually it averaged out. If I weigh myself on a Sunday, because I was weighing myself on a Friday as well, where I'd see slightly artificially improved results, and for some reason over the weekend, whether my eating habits changed, I kind of lost some of those gains. But week on week, I would see a 2 to 3 pound change. So good, not amazing, but that was consistent through every week of the fast. And number 10, inactivity is going to be your undoing. Monday to Friday, I'm at work, I'm busy, I'm thinking a lot, I'm talking to people, I'm up and around, I'm doing lots of things during my working week, and when I get home in the evenings, well then I'm into my feeding window. So Monday to Friday, this is an easy program for me. Come the weekend, start a bit later, I'm around the kids having breakfast, they might have a big fry up, we're going to go out, and I just have more time. I'm less active mentally and physically. I've got more time to think about food. So I found the weekends really difficult. It meant I had to start filling up my weekends and doing a load of stuff to be just as busy as my weekdays, so I wouldn't think about it. Now that's no bad thing. Actually shows how I was probably wasting some of my weekends, but it does mean that if you are not as active as you probably should be, mentally or physically, it will be tough, so you're going to have to get busy. So my results, over that month I lost 10 pounds, which is a pretty good going. I was really pleased with that success. I finished my fast yesterday, and today I feel in much better shape. Now I'm actually going to try something new. I'm going to try a water fast now for as long as I can go. I've learned that I can cope with the feelings. I'm not going to go too long. I don't think I would go longer than 30 days. I might even get anywhere near that, but I'm going to see how well I feel on a full fast, no food whatsoever, no calories, probably not even coffee, just a water fast. So if you're interested in that, please subscribe, and you'll see my progress. Like this video if it's something that interests you. Follow me on my channels, whether it's come to themichelli.com or follow me at Twitter at themichelli, or Facebook. It's the same thing wherever you go. All the social media profiles, it's the Michelli. And I'll see you in the next video.